Okay, all over around Klang Valley,
Yes.
KL.
Yeah. But mind
Okay.
you, yes, it was true that my past did create a little bit of a
Yeah.
challenge to me.
Yeah.
And I always like telling people this, you know, you don't have to worry about bank rejections, you know. Nobody can, it's very few people that can beat me at it.
Okay.
I actually had 26 bank rejections.
26? I
Yeah.
didn't know that there were so many banks.
I didn't know either until the rejections
So
came in.
I mean, you don't have to name names, but then one bank allowed you.
Oh yeah, a couple of
start
banks
with it.
actually.
Okay.
I was fortunate. A couple of banks allowed me. I managed to get my loans. So even with the rejections, I managed to get the loans to get me started on my journey.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you started, and now, I mean, 4 years down the road, how many properties do you sort of like own, or are in the midst of in your business?
Okay. Well, I own and I co-own quite a fair bit. I would say in the 20s.
20s.
Yes.
Okay, and this is
Yeah.
what, retail, shop lots? Do you have?
Yeah.
bungalows
I
and-
have quite a diverse nature of portfolio.
Okay.
Residential, high-rise houses. I've done a little bit of commercial offices and shop lots. Retail, I haven't had the opportunity to go into retail yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 20 properties
Yeah.
in 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us how you did that. I'm sure a lot of people want to know what is the baby steps or a bit of clue of how you get started. I mean, you told us that you started with low cost, then after that it evolved to.
Yeah. Well, it's evolved to a little bit more of condominiums.
Okay.
I did a little bit of middle, low cost. So it's actually step by steps, really baby steps. So the next one was actually low cost medium cost condominiums, and eventually went to. I even got a little bit of opportunity to invest into Mount Kiara.
Oh, okay.
Right,
These
so,
are like
yeah,
high.
nice places,
Yeah. Okay.
So I always tell people, I envy people there because I always have the properties, but I don't stay into it because my tenants are the ones enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, so I went to buy into Mount Kiara, and then eventually, when I accumulated a little bit more funds, then I slowly went into commercial.
Okay. So it's all refinancing, and you're still doing it to today, or you have other ways of?
No.
I thought they have a cap in
Oh, they
banks
do.
when you buy. They
do.
don't allow you to like refinance like what, maybe 5 years or 3 years down the road, or there's a penalty
Yes, it's
if
true.
you refinance, and you go through that with the
Yes,
banks.
I do. Well, one of the things I want to say is that you have to have prudent management of your finances. It is not that simple to get a loan from a bank.
Yeah.
One must have good income. One must have good balance of not just the income, but also a lot of people nowadays, they tend to overspend.
Yes.
Yeah, and that also affects their credit standings a fair bit. So it's a management of your income that you come in, and the types of properties are also important. I like to stress that. When I first started, I bought into secondary market properties, which produce a lot of rental. So the rental is very important because that's also income. And when I showed that to the banks that I'm managing it well, I have the rentals coming in above what I'm paying in the installments to the other banks. That gave me a lot of leverage. Right.
Okay, so how do you understand the current property market? I'm made to understand that you say it's going a bit crazy.
Yeah, it is exciting times.
So is it good to go in right now, or would you ask people to be cautious, or have you seen the public just buying it off the market and what, just keeping it? Do they rent it out? What is the current scenario?
I'm glad you asked that question, Anita.
How are they managing it in 2012? I mean, Europe is still having financial crisis, and even I think in US.
Yeah. It's exciting times now, like what you said. Things are a little bit chaotic in the West with US and in Europe.
Yeah.
I've been looking a little bit there as well, and you get a bit depressive when you start reading the news.
Yeah.
However, in Asia, the market here is still quite exciting as it is. So if you look into the market of late, especially since 2010, it has been on the uptrend. Property prices have gone up significantly since then, and even Bank Negara has put in quite a few stops to measures to safeguard the property market. The market has changed relatively quite a fair bit, and yes, it's a bit concerning to me. How people are actually buying properties.
Because people are actually cash rich if they can
I am
go
not
around.
too sure.
or because they get loans from the banks?
I do hope they're cash rich, because if they're getting loans, it's actually quite a fair bit of loans. If you studied the market of late, there's a lot of young individuals recently that they're going into, a lot of people going into the market have gotten themselves relatively high in gearing. High in gearing meaning that, well, once upon a time, people may have bought $300,000 worth of loans, and that would be enough, right? Or $500,000. But a lot of people right now are going into the millions.
Millions, it's like, it's not really, it's not that difficult right now to even deal in the millions. It's like,
it's quite common for property to cost $1 million. So a lot of people are now going up higher than what they usually used to take long time ago. And how they do that is actually they go like they do a joint
spouses.
Yeah, spouses. So
okay, go ahead.
Now that's quite concerning, because what really happens is that when you do something like this, you're actually exposing yourself to a lot of risk. So to me, when I look into the market like this, I'm actually a little bit concerned.
Okay.
Right. So people are actually spending quite a fair bit.
This is starting from 2012. You see that happening this year onwards?
I think it started in 2011.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of statistics you can actually go into. NAPIC, the government set up a great website called NAPIC. And NAPIC actually tracks the transactions of properties, the volume of transactions, and if you see the trends. And if you look at some of the reports you have recently, places like the capital, KL, Selangor, Penang.
It's still on the up, huh?
It's a very high up.
Okay. At one time I heard properties around KLCC was going down.
Oh yeah,
the value, I think about, 2 years ago, it was easier to pick up, those high-end properties around.